Welcome to episode 1555 of the Multifamily Collective. Today I wanted to just spend a very brief moment talking about the philosophy, the idea, the concept of thinking bigger. And the punchline here is, to the extent that you're thinking along a marginal gain, your mind is going to go to work on finding ways to get the marginal gain. It's going to go out and seek information in the world, whether it be from your social circle, your business circle, or your community circle, and it's going to find ways for you to get that incremental gain with incremental effort. And the philosophy of thinking bigger gets you in a mindset to go 10x or 100x or 1000x. So let me give you an example. So we are in the process of trying to grow our third-party property management platform. And we can set a goal to get to 10,000 units, which is an ambitious goal, and we are already headed in that direction, and we've made substantial progress in the last 3 to 6 months, plus minus. But we could set a goal to get to 50,000 units. And let me back up. In our minds, we've gone out and done the work that is germane to getting to 10,000 units. We've done the work to get our infrastructure put in place. We've done the work to get our systems and processes and disciplines and routines and human capital and all those things in place to accommodate a 10,000 unit portfolio, whether that's whatever the ratio of units are on an owned basis and on a third-party relationship client basis, right? But if we want to get to a number that is in advance of 10,000, we need to think about a number that is much larger than 10,000. We need to think about 25,000 or 50,000 units. And the philosophy and the concept here is that if you want to build something really special, if you want it to take off like a rocket ship, if you want hockey puck kind of growth, not hockey puck, but hockey stick kind of growth, you have to get your mind out here in the future. You have to get your mind thinking about what kind of infrastructure do you need to have in place for 25,000 units, for 50,000 units. Now, it's not about the number. It's about the mindset shift. It's about shifting everything up here to think about what you would need to have in place to accommodate that kind of activity, that kind of volume from an onboarding perspective, in addition to an operating perspective. So what that allows you to do is to kind of walk back from that big number with an open mind, with a mindset now that accommodates that kind of activity, and set things in place today that sort of graduate you up to that point and get all those things set in place so that if that vision were to become a real thing, you're ready for it, but you can bolt things on along the way in an efficient manner that is effective for your client, that is effective for your ownership groups, and that is effective for your team members so that you don't burn a bunch of people out, or you don't drop a bunch of balls, or if you're spinning a bunch of plates, you're not dropping them all over the place because you don't have the appropriate infrastructure in place. And it requires investment. So you can't just put this stuff down on paper and then suddenly get a bunch of units or properties coming your way without the infrastructure in place. You got to set it in place ahead of time. A lot of times, property management groups or groups that are building property management companies get behind the eight ball, they get behind the curve, and they're trying to bolt this stuff together as they're onboarding all of the properties. But you can do it that way, but it isn't necessarily clean. If you set it all in place up front, you can do it more efficiently, more effectively, with less brain damage for your team members, less brain damage for your ownership groups, less brain damage for your vendor set, because you've pre-planned for all that, because you've thought with a 10x, 100x, 1000x mindset that helps you understand what the path forward looks like so you can bolt it all together in a good way. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.